Alrighty, guys, we are moving on to question number 88 on CLT Math Practice Test number 4. This says, which of the following is the measure of angle Y in the isosceles triangle XYZ below? So we have an isosceles triangle, which that's what these two lines right here mean. It means what about these two sides of the triangle? Let's see here. It means that this little line segment, XZ, and this little line segment, YZ, are the same or congruent, isosceles triangle. So if those two sides are the same, what does that mean about the angles across from those sides? This angle over here and this angle over here means that angle X and angle Y must be the same. So the measure of angle Y is 65 degrees. And then moving on to question number 89. What is the x-intercept of y equals 2x minus 8? Well, if they were asking for a y-intercept, we're already in slope-intercept form. But they're not asking for a y-intercept. They're asking for an x-intercept, which says, what is x when y is 0? So we can rewrite this as 0 equals 2x minus 8. Why did I do that? Why did I put 0 equals 2x minus 8? Miss Cameron's just a weirdo and decided to. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. So we have our ordered pair, right? X, Y, just like in the alphabet, X comes before Y. And I wanted to find out, what is this X when Y equals 0? So that's why I did that. Moving forward, next step, to solve for X, what do we want to do here? I vote. Want to get the X by itself, I vote. Add 8 to each side of the equation to make our minus 8 cancel out to 0. And 0 plus 8 is 8. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the 2x, and like we said, minus 8 plus 8 cancels to 0, so that doesn't need to come down. And if 2x is equal to 8, then plain x is equal to, what's the 2 and the x doing together when they stand like that right next to each other and no symbol in between? They are multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So in order to make this 2 cancel to a 1, an invisible sneaky ninja 1, I need to divide both sides of my equation by 2. So these 2's cancel to a big ol' 1. So now we have x is equal to, not 2, 8 divided by 2 is, you got it, 4. So our x-intercept is that X is 4 when Y is 0. And moving forward to question number 90. The ratio of protons to neutrons in one atom of element Z is 3 to 4. And that's our ratio of protons to neutrons. Protons to neutrons. Protons to neutrons. Did I say that enough times? If a cluster of atoms in element Z contains protons, it cut off a number there. If it contains 12 protons, how many neutrons are in that same cluster? I'm sorry, that got cut off of my copy here. Contains 12 protons. So where should we write that 12 protons? Underneath the letter P or underneath the letter N? $12 protons underneath the P for protons. How many neutrons are in that same cluster? So we're going to take, thanks Alexa for letting me know to walk the dog. We'll walk her soon. How many neutrons are in that same cluster? So I'm going to take my ratio 3 to 4 and rewrite it as a fraction. My 3 is on top, so my 12 goes on top. And I want to make an equivalent fraction, and my denominator here will be the number of neutrons. So what's going on? How does the 3 turn into the 4? How did that happen? 3 turns to 12, I'm sorry. How does our 3 turn into the 12? Did I give a hint without meaning to? I just might have. 3 turns to 12 by multiplying by 4, and whatever happens on the numerator has to happen to the denominator, and 4 times 4 is 16 neutrons for 12 protons. And continuing on to question number 91. A student studying triangles comes up with the following rule. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is always exactly 2 integers longer than at least one leg of the right triangle. Which of the following is a counterexample that disproves the above statement? So if we look in here, we need a hypotenuse of a right triangle is always exactly 2 units longer than one of the legs. So where is a counterexample to disprove the statement? So I'm going to look for the hypotenuse for my answer choices. 3, 4, 5 is the biggest number. 6, 8, 10 is the biggest number. 8, 15, 17 is the biggest number. 7, 24, 25 is the biggest number. And now I need to look back and make sure that there is a leg that's 2 units shorter than the hypotenuse. 5 minus 2 is there. 10 minus 2 is there. 17 minus 2 is there. 25 minus 2 is not there. So that is our answer to this question. And then next, Question number 92. What is the slope of 3y minus 6x equals 10? So here we have a linear equation written in standard form, and we want to rewrite this into slope-intercept form. In order to do that, we need to get the y only by itself. We're going to isolate the y. So 3y minus 6x equals 10. For me, what I want to get rid of first is my negative 6x. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides of my equation to make this cancel to 0, right? Because the goal is to rewrite from standard form to slope-intercept form. Where y equals mx plus b, and your slope is the m, and your y-intercept is the b. Okay, so now I have 3y equals, I cannot put my 10 plus 6x. I can't put those together because the 6x has an x variable with it and the 10 does not. So it's just going to be 6x plus 10 or 10 plus 6x. Whichever way you want to write it is fine. And then our next step to isolate the y, to get the y only by itself, is to say, hey, what's that 3 and y doing together? Add, subtract, multiply, or dividing. They are multiplying. To get that 3 to cancel to 1, we need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm just going to divide every little thing by 3. And these 3's cancel to a big ol' 1, so y equals 6/3 x, or 6x over 3. Either way how you want to say it. Plus 10/3. And I'm only going to focus on my, plus 10/3. I'm only going to focus on my slope, because that's what we're looking for. What is the slope? Slope, m, slope, 6/3. And what every fraction is a what kind of problem? Every fraction is a division problem, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Final answer. And then question number 93. How many numbers between 1 and 80 inclusive meet both conditions below? Statement 1. The number has a factor of 4. Statement 2. The number is a multiple of 10. Whenever I see a math logic question like this, I always want to look at the larger number first. That's my strategy. The number is a multiple of 10. It's between 1 and 80. So what are my multiples of 10 between 1 and 80? 10 multiplied by 0 is not 10 multiplied by 1. 10 times 2. So we're counting by 10s up to 80. That just took a few seconds. And now go back to statement number 1. The number has a factor of 4. What does that mean, a number that has a factor of 4? When I hear the word factor, I think factor tree, like 100 can be divided by 10 times 10. 10 is a factor of 100, right? It can divide into it. So 4 can divide into which of these numbers? It could divide into 10, but not evenly. I got 4, 8, 12. Skip 10. 16, 18, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72, 76, 80. So how many numbers meet both conditions? Just those 4 pink ones. You guys just must think I'm having so much fun with my highlighters and pens here. And so sorry that this test doesn't let you use highlighters and pens. I guess if I wasn't using them, I'd probably go a lot faster. Number 94. What is the area of triangle A, B, C below? So we want the area of triangle A to B to C. So the whole thing. And how do you find the area of a triangle if you don't have the formula memorized? It is on the reference sheet. So if we look here, area of a triangle equals 1/2 times base times height. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. So I can see that this triangle has been broken up into 2 triangles. We got another 90-degree angle here because we got a straight line, and that's 90. These are marked congruent. So the hypotenuse of both of these is 10. So we have side, angle, side. Like, we have a lot of stuff in common here. We got 2 sides the same. We know we got these angles the same, which tells me that these triangles are similar. So if from A to D is 8, I want a new color. Then all the way across my base, going all the way across, would be, here's my base, would be how much? 16. 8 plus 8, 16. And now we need to find the height of our triangle, H. Our height, H. So I'm going to just zoom in on half of the triangle here and say, okay, if I know 2 sides of a right triangle, I can find the 3rd side by the Pythagorean theorem, which is on the reference sheet. Pythagorean theorem for a right triangle: if A, B, and C are the side lengths of the triangle and C is the hypotenuse, then A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we have Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to zoom in just on half of my triangle. I knew that was going to happen. Just a minute. Okay, Pythagorean theorem says A squared plus B squared equals C squared, where C is the hypotenuse. What is a hypotenuse? A hypotenuse is the longest side, or the side across from the 90-degree angle. And then A and B are the legs of your right angle triangle. A and B, it doesn't really matter who's who at A and B. So we can say 8 squared plus our height of our triangle squared equals our hypotenuse squared. And now we can solve for height, so we can plug it back into this formula over here. I'm ready for a new color. 8 squared is 64, plus our height squared equals 10 squared is 100. Next step, get our numbers together, subtract 64 from each side. So our height squared equals 100 minus 64. No calculators on this test, so our 0 becomes 10, and regroup 10 becomes 9. 10 minus 4, 6. 9 minus 6, 3. Our height squared is 36. What number squared equals 36? 6. So our height of our triangle is 6. So 1/2 times 16 times 6, half of 16 is 8 times 6 is 48, and we have landed on the correct answer. And up next, we have question number 95. The line y equals x plus 5 undergoes a transformation such that all points A and B on the line are translated to a, b plus 3 on the resulting line. What is the equation of the line after the transformation? So what are these? AB and AB plus 3. That's like a ordered pair because we're thinking about a graph, right? And those are normally what letters in there? XY. So it's X for A, Y for B, and then we're adding 3 to the Y. So all we're really going to do here is say y equals x plus 5, and then we're going to add 3. So we're always going to make y be 3 units higher. So combine like terms, 5 plus 3 is, and you found your answer on answer choice A, B, C, or D. Don't overthink. It really is just that simple for this question. Done. Number 96. An online candle business, open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, sells 15 candles a day its first week. If each week it sells 3 more candles a day, how many candles in total does that business sell in week 5? The first week to week 5. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And what's going on? I gotta read again. An online candle business open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, sells 15 candles a day its first week. 15 candles a day. So it's selling 15 candles a day for 5 days. And then what's happening? Each week it sells 3 more candles a day. So week 2, it's not selling 15 candles a day, it's selling 3 more. 18 candles a day times how many days is it open? Same 5 days. Week 3, 3 more candles a day times the same 5 days a week. Week 4, 3 more candles a day times the same 5 days a week. And then finally we get to week 5. How many candles in total does that business sell in week 5? We're selling 3 more candles a day times 5 days that week. So we've got 27 times 5, 7 times 5, 35. 5 times 2, 10 plus 3, 13. They're selling 135 candles in total during week 5. And I'm going to do, one more question. And then we'll move on to the next break. A particular specimen of the bracket fungus was estimated to contain 450 million spores, and those 450 million spores were estimated to weigh roughly 900 pounds. Assuming that these estimates are correct, what is the average weight of 1 million spores of this specimen of bracket fungus? So we've got 450 million spores weigh 900 pounds. And we want to know what is the weight of 1 million spores. So we've got weight and spores. So I'm going to say our weight that we know here, we know that 900 pounds is how much 450 million spores weighs. And we want to find out how much 1 million spores weighs. Well, how do we turn 450 to 1? I don't need to worry about the million because both of these have a million. It kind of like cancels each other out. So we want to turn 450 into 1. How do we do that? What does this look like? Equivalent fractions. So 450 goes to 1. 450 divided by 450 equals 1. If we divide the denominator by 450, then you have to divide the numerator by 450. And 450 plus 450 is 900. So that's 900 divided by 450 is 2. Our weight is 2 pounds for 1 million spores. All right, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you later.